everybody, and welcome to the Wealthy Lala show with myself, Laurie Laursen. How are you doing? Today is episode 211. How does it get any better? So, how was your weekend? And what was up? Did you have a good time? How many things can you reflect on in gratitude? Oh gosh, what was that thing? It just flew in my head and then flew right out again. Um, I was listening to an Abraham this morning, an Abraham video, and really, if you guys don't know what Abraham Hicks is, you have to be a little open. It's a woman who channels this group of beings called Abraham, and they share wisdom, and the wisdom is so cool. I've been listening to them for years, kind of like found them quite a few years ago and then left it for a little while and then came back, and just where I'm at, where they're at, the whole thing, it's just like, damn, this is good. And I love it because I find that when I listen to Abraham and then listen to Dr. Joe Dispenza, they complement each other so much, and it's like just different ways of kind of saying the same thing. And I don't know about you, but you can hear 10 people tell you how to do something, and one person, the way they say it, it will just click, and boom, it all comes together for you. And that's what I find with this. And I heard Abraham say this morning, like, how much can I enjoy where I'm at right now? And I was just thinking of how, we get into different situations. And again, work, family, friends, community, could be with your body. How much can you enjoy where you are at right now? Like, just right now, how much can you enjoy where you are at right now? And even Abraham kind of admonishes us or teases us or slightly gives us heck in a real sweet, loving way, that where our weakness is our ability to focus, and especially our ability to focus on the things that we want. And I think I did mention this one in one show last week, that if you have 5 things in your life or 10 things in your life and only one of them are going good, if you actually allow yourself to focus on that one thing that's going good, just keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, and focus on the aspects of that one thing that's going really well, it will actually begin to change the other things in your life that aren't. Now, it's kind of crazy, right? Because, like, how could it be that easy? And you got to look. Like, what does it kind of mean about you if you start being all Pollyanna and looking on the bright side? And, a lot of people in this world aren't really looking for you to have a good life, enjoy yourself, have everything work out for you. And, it's one of the things that you just got to be aware of, that it's all easy to say that you can do something, or to do something like focus on the things that you're grateful for, but you really want to look at too the things that are stopping you. And I was talking to someone just recently, and they were saying, I kind of got to this place with meditating where it's just like blah, ho hum, okay, what's for dinner, like whatever. And I was aware, and this person would have to check in for what was true for themselves. But what I was aware of was that they were coming up against something that was stopping them from creating greater. Now, again, it's crazy, but our bodies are so hardwired to keep us safe that, as I said before, anything that threatens that safety, the safety of what we're familiar with, it is going to go alert, 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 no, 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 and it's going to stop you from allowing the change. And like I said before, it has to do with things like if you want to change your eating habits, if you want to sleep more, if you want to sleep less, if you want to move your body, if you want to get yourself out of your comfort zone, take a different class that might be different than what most people would choose that you know of. and it'll make this real push-pull. And then that in itself ends up being so exhausting that you end up giving up or letting go or getting discouraged and just going back to the familiar. And I'd heard Dr. Joe Dispenza say this morning in an audio, oh my gosh, he said, the reason why people don't want to get up in the morning is because they already know what their day is going to be like. Like emotionally, they already know what their day is going to be like. And so there's no excitement, like being a little kid bounding out of the bed, what's the day going to have for us? And have this sort of adventure called living, right? I just wanted to refer back to, so the notes from the therapist on Instagram put one out yesterday. And it says, do you get a little uneasy when things in your life feel too good? I get you big time. So it's okay that you feel uncomfortable when things start to get too good, and like I told you last week about how all of a sudden one day I was like tapped out, maxed out with receiving, with having things be so good. It was like, holy shit, I can't take any more. And then I just allowed myself to really stay with that discomfort. And I didn't know at the time what it was. So I really had to stay present with it. And it wasn't till about a day later, after asking some questions, after having a good sleep, after a meditation, that all of a sudden I went, oh my God. Well, because what ended up happening too is that after I allowed myself to go through that, just keep staying present with it, choosing some tools to create some relief with it, then all of a sudden it just let go. And it was like my whole world just went, whew. And now I received or reached another level of receiving. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so grateful that I stayed with that I stayed present with it. Yeah. So, yeah, when you're allowing yourself to focus on things that you actually want to create in your life, uh, really give yourself the space to have it be uncomfortable and know that that's okay. And if you're trying to meditate and you've hit kind of a plateau thing, or you're trying to move your body more or do something, whatever it is for you, and you're kind of like, I don't know, could it be, and this is where you want to ask a question, could it be that the way your body is, the way things are going, it's just trying to go, it's going alert, alert, like this is getting too good. This is getting out of our comfort zone. This is no longer familiar. And being aware of that so that you can let yourself choose something different if you actually really truly desire that. And the one thing you got to know too is judgment. You just got to not judge yourself through this process. Like honestly, you got to do the best you can to not judge yourself through this process. Because this is new territory. This is new territory for us. Like, how many of us were taught how to create what we desired when we were little? How many of our parents knew that? Probably next to none, you know? So we're learning and we're bumping along. And, like I've heard before, it's like when some little kid is learning to walk and they fall, you don't go, get up, you little dummy. You're like, oh, just about, good job. You don't get upset over when they're trying to ride a new bike and you're like, oh, you stupid idiot, you can't do anything right. Like, do you guys recognize these thoughts that we do to ourselves? Like, it's kind of crazy what we can do to ourselves. Like, what am I doing here? Why can't I get this right? How come I don't? Well, because you don't know any better yet, and you don't know better till you know better. And and just as a side note on this too, is like I find often too, we're so familiar with the judgment and keeping ourselves small that when we go to do something greater, we do it and we accomplish it. We then start beating ourselves up for, well, how come I didn't do that sooner? Why didn't I know about this? Well, because you didn't. Oh my God. You know, that's like me going up to my granddaughter who's 3.5 weeks old and saying, how come you haven't walked yet? Or if she starts walking and she's a year and a half, say a year old and she starts walking and be like, well, how come you didn't walk when you were 3 months old? What's wrong with you? The potential was always there. Why didn't you do it then? Like, do you get that? Like, there's such an expectation for all of us to know and do and be everything yesterday that, you know, because it's out there, we should be doing it. And then especially when we catch on to something, we should have had that, we should have known better. Like, do you get the insidious judgment that we do to ourselves? Like, it's pretty crazy. And I wonder how much we could love ourselves through this whole process of having a great life. And, so back to the first question that I asked at the beginning of the show, with that Abraham had said, is how much can I enjoy this moment that I'm in right now? What's really cool about asking questions like that is when you ask questions like that, even if you're in a familiar environment, like say a job, you've been there for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, you may be surprised and delighted by the things that pop into your head to make it fun. And like what I noticed even just the other day, I had the 2 boys over, my 2 grandsons, and we were hanging out in the living room. I don't usually get down on the ground because that's not easy for me. I don't do the hands and knees and, crawl around kind of thing. My body's just not a fan of that quite yet. And I got the hit to go down on the ground. And so I just rolled around the best I could. Do I do it as smoothly and as, gracefully as someone else? Maybe not. But I did it. And I can tell you honestly, my grandsons did not care. They loved it that I was on the floor with them, especially when I was going after the older one and, trying to eat his toes. We were just having a good time. And so how much can you enjoy the moment, like this moment right now? So if you're at work, start asking that question. Put a sticky note up on your computer. How much can I enjoy where I'm at right now? How much can I enjoy this moment right now? And what's cool is that when you ask questions like that, it starts to engage the universe, the field, the quantum entanglements, the elementals, anything like that, whatever word you want to give to it, God, source, divine, it begins to respond to that. Now you may see it, and as soon as 5 seconds, you might turn and see something that makes you laugh hysterically, or it might take a day or two, or even a week. I've heard Abraham say that when you start to change, you ask these questions and you start to change your receiving, your willingness to receive something different, it can be in as quick as like 3 days that all of a sudden you'll start to see things that are just really, really cool. So on tomorrow's show, I'm actually going to tell you guys about a couple of things that one particular thing that was just so freaking amazing that I created by my willingness to receive and my willingness to be open to the whispers of the universe and follow the lightness. So you gotta listen in tomorrow to hear that one, because it was pretty awesome. It gave me goosebumps and tears. So yeah, but ask yourself today, like, how much can I enjoy this moment right now? Like, you've got someone who's just yelled at you, or you find out that someone doesn't want to hang out with you, or a friendship has changed, or a relationship has changed, or oh gosh, you're having a real sucky day with how you feel in your body, or you just had you didn't want to get up and go to work today. Whatever it is for you, like, just allow yourself to kind of just get into your body, take a nice big breath, blow it out. And how much can I enjoy this moment right now? And really be honest with yourself. Are you safe right now? Like, look around. Are you safe? Even if you had an idiot just around you, or not great day at work, or, maybe it's pouring rain and you're not a fan of that today, or whatever it is, just like, are you safe? And if you get that you're safe, Just be like, okay, how can I enjoy this moment right now? How much can I enjoy this moment right now? And what can you be grateful for? That may seem like something so small and so insignificant, but choosing that over and over and over again and allowing yourself to become it, and that's what's cool is this is a muscle. You ask the question at first and you ask it, and then after a while you just become it. And you don't have to ask it anymore. It's like when you learn to type. First it was A, B, 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 A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C. Then you started doing sentences. And then the next thing you know, you just do it without even, you just know where the letters are and it's just second nature. So anyways, how can you enjoy the moment that you're in right now? And I'd love to hear how that works for you guys. That'd be so great. You can share them with me. thewealthylala@gmail.com. Reach out for anything. Well, not everything. I don't do, I'm not going to pick up your groceries or something like that. Although I do like doing that thing. I do. I really do. But if you live in like, Kentucky or England or something, it ain't going to happen today because I'm in Canada. All right. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for listening, guys.